Hello, everyone, and welcome to Churchy Chats with the Church Girl. I am so excited. The month of August seems like it took forever. Well, not really. It was one of those it took forever, but got here really quick type of things. But I am so excited because we are doing what I am calling He Said, She Said, which is basically a conversation similar to Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. We're having those conversations where men and women tend to differ, have different opinions on. So I'm excited about that. If this is your first time here, my name is Alicia Wiley. I am the founder and creator of A Church Girl, which is a lifestyle brand and a clothing line that seeks to uplift and inspire everyone we have the privilege of connecting with. Tonight, I have some amazing people with me. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we're going to get right into tonight's topics. Make sure you share this broadcast. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you chime in and join this conversation. All right. Talk to us. Talk to us, Brother Shawn.
Hey, thank you, Alicia. Glad for being on the call on tonight. My name is Shawn Henry. I'm a father of three. I'm a third generation preacher. I'm married to my high school sweetheart. We'll be 16 years in September. And I'm excited to be on the show on tonight. So looking forward to chat. Let's talk.
Yes, I'm excited to have you here. Thanks, bro. Queen, where you at, huh?
Hey, I'm right here. I am very excited to be on. I'm so proud of what you're doing, Alicia. But I am the founder of Crown Up International Core. It's a movement for boys and girls who will be teaching about their worth as royalty and how to carry themselves as kings and queens. I host, I choreograph, and I have a company called Royalist Management where we help people with their administrative and organizational needs, whether it be personal, private, or business. And I'm about to have my radio show on Preeminent Radio coming soon, and I'll have some TV stuff coming. But yeah, I'm just happy to contribute a PK here and a full gospel baby.
So glad to have you. So happy to have you. Mr. Yardley, Pastor, Reverend.
Hello, my name is Pastor Yardley Griffin Jr. I'm lead and senior pastor of the Destiny Experience Church here in the city of Sacramento, California. I am a husband. I have three girls and one son. And I'm excited to be on. Thank you for letting me be on. And I'm not exactly a full gospel baby because I was in college, or as it were, but I am full gospel to the bone. So let's get it in.
Come on. Come on. Glow, so glad you're here. So glad you're here. Shanine, talk to us.
Hey, everyone. My name is Shanine Alessia Young. I am a wife. I'm a mom. I have a 1-year-old daughter. I'm a teacher. I've been teaching for the past about 7 years. And I'm an author. I recently wrote my book. It's called Reaching While Teaching. And that book is all about just helping educators, helping those people that work with young people and just teach, helping them to make positive impacts. And I use just biblical advice as well inside the book. And I am the owner of Reaching While Teaching, which is basically an organization that is just out there to help people live their best life possible. So I help authors, I help teachers. I just provide different resources and courses as well. And I'm excited to be a part of this live. I guess I'm a PK now, but my dad didn't become a pastor till like 3 years ago. So I wasn't raised.
It definitely still counts. So technically we have all PKs on tonight. Look at that. But y'all gonna see how we act up for real. Okay. Yeah. So here's our first. Let's jump right on into this first topic. So I put this online, and my response has been a little in my opinion, surprising. So I just want to see what you all's thoughts are. If a woman invites a man on a date, who should be picking up the tab? Who picks up the tab?
Let me jump in there right away. I'm going to state my claim early. I love to talk, so let me jump in there right quick. Listen, I'm young in age, but I'm an old soul. So I would say, for me personally, the man pays always. I know it's going to go against the man code, the bro code, but let the man take care. Listen, we're going to do this courting thing, recording. If I'm loving on her, we're dating, we're doing our thing. of course I'm gonna pay. I've been married now almost 16 years. But when we still date, but when we were dating prior to getting married, I always paid. I just felt like that was a part of just that quoting and chivalry, just the whole nine. So I'm gonna say yeah. Guys,
Okay, well,
pull out your wallet. Let's
let me
pay
ask
for
you
it.
this, bro. If you're not courting yet, if this is the first initial, date, like this is the first interaction, she literally shot her shot, and you all don't really know each other, or you may know each other, but not in the dating sense. And she says,
Mhm.
"Yo, I'm feeling you. I would
Mhm.
love to go out." You still think the man should pay?
Of course, it's first impressions. I mean,
Okay.
come on. I mean, if you can't pay for a date, then I don't think we should be connecting, then, right? I mean, I don't know. She had to think about him right quick. You
Well,
know,
can I, if I can jump in,
talk to me, Yardley. Jumping at
let
Yardley.
me
Holler at
let
me,
me
man.
jump with Shawn. My daddy always taught me. My daddy taught me that a man should always pay. Always. You know, no matter what the situation, you're always there to take care of it. But being in the time that we live in, and where we are today, and I have three girls, 16, 14, and 12, and they all out there making noise while we in here. But having that, I do teach my girls that whenever it's time, and I will continue to teach whenever it's time for them to do that, they will always leave the house with money. You never go anywhere
Right.
Yeah.
without having what you need. Even when they go with their friends, and they go with their friends' parents, and their friends' parents say, "Well, we'll take care of them." My girls never leave the house without a dollar, without some dollars and cents in their pockets. And so I do
Sure.
understand from my perspective. I would always put my wallet out first, but I wouldn't be offended or ready to blow my head off if the young lady who asked me to go out said, "I got it." In living in 2020, that's where we are right now. And chivalry isn't
Okay.
dead, but it just kind of goes the other way sometimes. And so it's not really an offense. It just is what it is. It is what it is. So
I'm with
Ladies,
that.
speak on it, ladies.
Okay, I'm gonna come in and dive on in here. Yeah, I am all about go ahead and be chivalrous as towards me. Yes, do it. However, if we've been in some kind of awesome, amazing relationship for a while, I think it's okay for your lady to want to treat you in a manner, maybe once in a blue moon. And I would hope that the man would be open to it. I understand that, some men are like, no, I'm covering you. But I think it's great to say, look, today is your day. I'm spending on you. We doing stuff for you. Let me take you
Let's
into
go. Let's do
consideration
it.
real big and take care of some things, because, what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine. I'm speaking on the marriage tip, but, if
Right.
you've been in a relationship or something committed, not something you made up for a long time, then I think it's okay for the woman to dive in.
So, Queen, if you invite him
Oh,
on the date and it's a first date, he's paying.
I don't know that I would invite him on the first
So,
date. I don't think
okay,
now,
that
now you're
okay.
talking.
yeah.
Now we
I don't
talking.
think that would have
Maybe
happened
we
with me. I
should.
think if we go and you said it, and you may have asked me where I would like to go or what I would like to do, but I believe that the man is the orchestration, narration, and solidification of the relationship. So
talk about it.
therein, he needs to be the navigation for what we're gonna do.
Talk about it.
Ooh, okay.
Well,
Talk about it.
all
Write
right.
that
Just
down
saying.
and
Send
send
me
All
that
a
to
cash
email.
app so I
Send
can
that to
cash
me.
app him something.
On notification. On notification. Ti
Look,
showed up.
I was going there next, but I didn't want to turn the conversation.
I
I
had to
don't. I
turn
got two
it.
daughters. I got two daughters. I don't never want them to ask a guy out to a date at all
Right. Yeah.
for no reason. You are the
really?
prize. Never
I
ever. I'm
agree.
gonna tell
I
you
agree.
something.
I
I've
agree.
been married almost 16 years, but 23 years ago when I got my wife, I saw her and I wanted her. I pursued her, and I didn't give up until she finally said, "Yeah, let's make it official." And the man knows what he wants. We're hunters by nature.
That's
And,
right.
if you're sitting there, you got that good thing that the Bible talks about, that's what a woman is, especially a black woman.
That
A
good
good thing.
thing.
Oh, I feel like
So, what do
talking
you
now.
say,
You're
Shanine? What
preaching.
do you speak
You're
on this?
you're preaching.
Wow. I mean, I agree with Queen. I personally wouldn't do it. I wouldn't ask a man out, but I wouldn't look down on a woman that does it. That's just what she does. If she's okay with that. But I even talked to my husband about this. I asked him a question. He was like, no, the guy should pay. And I feel like that would be my thought process. But then I feel like if you have to hint at it and like, oh, well, do you want to take me on a date? And the woman has to do that, like she's kind of pursuing. I feel like that may continually be like the pattern in the relationship. That's just my personal opinion. But I mean, later on in the relationship, you guys could, like, if you guys are in a committed relationship, you guys can take turns. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Sure.
However, right off the bat, I probably wouldn't start off that pattern, like of me trying to lead, ask him out, and then pay. That I wouldn't. That's not for me.
Well, that can be yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I'll say that
No, go
that
ahead.
can actually be a bad pattern to start. Because what you're doing, in effect, you could be taking the leadership role, and that you don't necessarily want to take. And so you're putting yourself in a place, and then you can want to backtrack and say, well, I don't want this, I don't want that. But we create, many times we don't realize that we're creating patterns when we do things, and then we want to backtrack the pattern, but it's already there, and then we get upset. Why is it this? Why is that way? But that's the pattern we created, and then now you've gotten John used to you doing everything first, where he would have, but you do it, and so he sits back, and now you're saying, John, be a man, and John says, I am a man, but you always did it, and I got used to you doing it, which is not right for him to think that way. But when we create patterns, then people live based upon those patterns, and sometimes we have to suffer and live with the patterns that we create. So I'll be quiet.
Start how you want to finish. Start how you want to finish.
Most people have said that it's a no for them. Even if the woman is doing the inviting, then the man should still pay. I had somebody to say, I always pay for the dates I ask the guys on. I like to pay for my own dates. My husband says I was the first person to do that, though. So I guess it depends on the situation. I mean, I've never asked anybody out, but I feel like if I did, even if okay, I'm at least do the fake pay. The fake I want to pay. Reach for the purse and pretend that I want to pay.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I would at least do that. I'm not gonna fight you to pay. Nah, don't get it twisted. I'm not gonna fight you to pay, but I will do the fake reach. And if it ends up being that I pay for it, then I pay for it. But if he takes it from me, then I'm gonna let him. Pretty much every single time. Now, I do agree that once you're in a relationship, it is a little bit different. But if you invite anybody out, let's just say that, let's not make it necessarily male, female. If I'll be like, Aft, let's go out to lunch. Who is it? I mean, I extended the invitation. Is it my responsibility to pay? Or is that just you know what I'm saying? Like, what do we have that expectation just for male female relationships? Or
I would say, if you invited her out to lunch and you said, just keyword for Black people, let me treat you to something to eat. I would assume that since you're saying let's go to lunch, you got your money, I got mine. Now, if I feel like taking care of your bill, I will. But there's a quote word, let me treat you out. Now I'm gonna take care of you, treat you out, and get you some lunch. That's different.
Okay. So it's all in the language.
I would agree. Yeah, I would agree. It has to be in the language and how you say it. If you say, let me take you to lunch, that's one thing. Outside of let's go to lunch, those are two different things. That we're trying to get across to each other. Let me take you to lunch. Let's go to lunch. Let's meet up for lunch. And then it's really based upon relationship. Those things are really based upon relationship. Relationships suggest that I know what my person is saying when they're or my friend or whatever, when they're saying let's go to lunch. I know I'm paying. But when you don't have a relationship, then you fall into this gray kind of situation where you're not quite sure. And but if I invite somebody, I automatically assume that I'm going to do it, and then they'll say, "No, I got mine," and then we go from there. So,
Any final comments on this, ladies?
I said my piece.
You meant what you said. You said what you meant. All right, guys, we're going to go to our first commercial break, and then we'll be right back with an even juicier topic. Stay tuned.
Join the Life Center Cathedral for Morning Manna with Bishop J. Douglas Wiley Taylor, a time of prayer and fasting. Pray with us every morning at 5 a.m. for 21 days, beginning August 1st, only on Facebook Live.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all can roll over at 5 a.m. and join us for 5 a.m. prayer, please do that. We are only on day 4. I'm doing okay without the food, but I'm not doing okay without the sleep. So y'all pray for us, sister, because she on the struggle bus. But we know that God is faithful. But this, okay, so Chris Rock, well, I don't want to say our friend because I don't know whose friend he is, but Chris Rock said only women, children, and pets are loved unconditionally. A man is loved under the condition he provides something. What I mean,
Child, if that was the case, then you wouldn't have so many women with the triflings. You wouldn't stick around with the triflings if that was the case. If the man was only the provider, unless he provided something else you like, then maybe that's the case.
We're gonna keep it real.
I don't know. But other than that,
I'm gonna sip my water.
I'm just saying. But other than that, no, you wouldn't stay with the man who can't do this or can't do that for you, or don't know how to fix nothing, or have zero skill, or never decided to go to school, or don't want to have any goals, if he could only be loved under a condition. Now, women love the men unconditionally, no matter what, especially your mama. Women be loving you. So that's I hear you, Chris Rock, but then my ears that fell on deaf ears as well. No, sir.
So what do you what I see both. I see Shawn and Yardley with looks.
I'm gonna let you go first, Yardley. I don't want to get in any trouble on this one. It's tight.
Well, this is real tight. This is real tight. And this is real tough because, looking from the Queen's perspective, as she just spoke so eloquently, in the way that she did, men are just loved. But I think if you take it from this Instagram, Facebook generation that we're living in, and you're checking out the memes and things that are going on, and you look at some of the things that are stated, if he can't pay my bills, why is he talking to me? From when you see these different things that are in our society right now, from thinking logically and level-headed, it's like doesn't make sense. But if you come from the perspective of what specifically some of our younger people are looking at and listening to, and how they're looking at life, then it is that if I love a baby because it's a baby. I love my mama because she's my mama. That's my dog. But what can that man do for me? Case in point, when a young lady, when this can happen, when she meets a man, her friends could automatically say to her, well, what does he do for a living? Where does he live at? What kind of cars he drive? But when a guy, when his friends see, he be like, is she pretty? She got a big old butt. What's going on? It's that kind of thing. It's like what can he do? If he doesn't have enough money, then why are you fooling with him? If he can't buy you Gucci and Prada and Michael Kors, it's one thing to be looking from a perspective, full gospel babies, where we have Bishop Morton and your father Bishop Wiley and Bishop Brisson and all those guys that we looked up to, and coming and PKs look from that perspective. But then we have those who are looking up to mothers who are 30 and they're 15 and they're whatever, and the situation is, well, if he can't do anything for you, if he can't buy your car, then why are you with him? Even though he may meet you mentally, he may meet you spiritually, but If he's not providing and paying your light bill, then why are you fooling with him? And to me, it's kind of a generational gap in which we live in. That the perspective has changed from the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok generation to we just got on Facebook and we still emailing people. So
Yeah, facts. I'm guilty of both of those things. So wait, jump in, y'all. What do y'all think about what y'all said?
I don't know. I think it depends on, I guess you say it's generational, but I think it also just depends on the people that you surround yourself with as well, because everyone has a different mindset too. Like everyone doesn't think like that. So like I may have friends, you know, when I told them I was, when me and my husband were courting, they might have asked those questions. And I had some that were more cared about, like worried about, like, you know, how's his faith? How's his walk with the Lord? Like they were asking questions like that. So I really think it depends on the mindset of those people that you're surrounding yourself with. And just everyone is different. Like I wasn't looking to my husband for that. I was looking at other standards and other qualities, but I did want to know if he could provide, you know, and we wanted to make sure that, you know, our purpose and everything was aligned. But I wasn't like, oh, he has to have all this money in the world. He has to know, like, because at the time I was making, you know, more than him at the time. And then within the first like 2 years of our marriage, he got a raise and started making more than me. But like, if I was, you know, kind of like, what's the word, shallow and just like, he has to be making this, he has to be, you know, then we wouldn't have got connected and I would have, you know, missed out on this amazing marriage that I'm in. So I just feel like it just depends on the perspective. And even with my parents, I've seen firsthand, like when my dad, he got out of work because he does construction. He hurt his ankle. So it was like months he wasn't able to work. And my mom was still, she loved him unconditionally. She was still taking care of the bills, and he would help out every now and then. But like she was the main, like, you know, provider. And me seeing that, I think that kind of, you know, changed my perspective as well. So I think everyone's different. It depends. I don't really fully agree with that quote.
Okay. Shawn, what say?
And I think he's coming from the angle of celebrity as well. So I work with many, and so I know usually if we're at a dinner and we're with a celeb, everybody's like, we eating, and then people are like, all right, I guess she's paying, you know, I guess he's paying. So I think people, if you're coming from the angle of celebrity, then you may think that the man is only looked at to be the provider, but you know, as Shanine said, it's definitely conditional from the person's perspective. But I think that's what lenses he's looking from.
Yeah,
I would have to agree.
Shawn,
I would definitely have to agree. It can go either way. I think everybody said a good part tonight in regards to it. Let me say this though. I guess me coming from a context of my wife is the sole provider of our home, and I am part-time student worker, but she's the breadwinner, basically, quote unquote. I would say that the way how things are operating, it never changed in regards to her love, her respect for me, the whole nine. So it's just the individualized situation, depending on a person. So normally, I think even as gentlemen, I mean, maybe y'all can agree with me. We kind of may teach our daughters or show our daughters that a man has to be a person that's going to be a person that's going to be able to protect you, provide for you, and those things. So I think that's where it starts at. So that's where the part of that, you know, just it has to be on a condition. But I think that true love has, you know, there's no condition to it at all. So not necessarily what you can bring to the table financially, but rather what we can be compatibly in friendship, love, and the whole nine. Because I would rather go with someone who's on the lower spectrum for his money, and we can build and have everything else, and we can build from there. It can be great from there.
I agree.
Yeah.
Let me jump back in. I agree. When me and my wife, we got married, I'll be honest, I brought a box. I brought a box and a paper bag, and you know, she had a stable job and all that kind of stuff. But she believed in me and she knew me, But she also knew that I worked much harder than my paycheck said. Being a pastor my father at the time, I worked way hard and my paycheck said very little. And so she knew the potential that I had, and she knew the work that I did. And finally, just this year, after 5 years of marriage, it's catching up to
Yeah.
it's catching up. But so it's you have to look at from so many different perspectives. And I don't think that there is one right answer based upon how you're raised and your outlook. I think one way is unfair. What Chris Rock said, I don't think is right, but I do think people actually think that way and they live that way. And it's our job to show the different perspectives and then to help those that we can to see a different way.
Right.
Yeah. And I think, though, if we're fair, women aren't loved unconditionally. Now, this may be, controversial, but we are not loved unconditionally in that we are expected to provide, not money necessarily, but when a man is looking for a wife, he's usually looking for certain things, right? He wants her to be able to do certain things, whether it be cook, whether it be clean, whether it be keep his house, whether it be whatever. I don't think anybody, maybe pets are loved unconditionally, and maybe children are loved unconditionally, but I don't really believe that men or women are loved unconditionally, because if you get into a situation where you're the person doing all of the giving, you can't, I don't care how much you loving on that person, you can't tell me that you don't expect anything in return. You don't expect anything in return. So I'm pressed I would like to hear his perspective on it, and I can kind of see where he's going, but it's my take that women are not really loved unconditionally. Do you all think women are loved unconditionally?
Let me state my claim. My wife is loved unconditionally by me. And if she's watching, I
Okay.
love you, baby. I love you. Like that. I love her like that. So, but it can like we said, you can go either way. I mean, it's possible that some men and women can feel like they're not loved because certain things that I guess men are looking for. Let's be truthful about it. Can we be honest? A man wants a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets. He want to be able to take her on the arm, bring her
but that's a
around,
condition.
be able to.
That's a condition, bro.
You're preaching.
That's a condition.
Okay,
If
you think that's a condition?
That's a condition.
That's a condition.
Well then, aren't all of the conditions? I want my dog to bark.
But maybe so. Go ahead, y'all. What you think? I mean, because you know what? Maybe you're right. Then maybe there is some conditions to all of it. Then that has to be. That's a condition because even for the man to the woman, I mean, there's things that she wants to make sure he is to her. A provider, a protector, someone who's going to be there, who's going to be loving, honest, respectful, sensitive. So, I mean, I don't look at it as being actual conditions, but rather it be great traits that we're looking for.
Somebody said that. Can we call it expectation? Because, like
that's
you
good.
said,
Let's do that.
I like that. Let's say expectation. And one of our viewers said there are definitely expectations on both sides, and I say that because a woman wants security, she wants protection, she wants to feel like she has that in a husband, right? And on the flip side, a man wants a woman who can make a house a home. He wants peace in his house. And women, as women, we're the ones who set the tone for the home. And you don't want a woman that can't, provide you peace and can't really be the queen to your kingdom. You want a woman who knows what you need, even without having to. I shouldn't have to ask my husband certain things. If he's tired, I shouldn't have to be like, well, babe, what can I do for you? Sometimes that might be okay, but I need to kind of know that if I need to run your bath, or if I need to rub your back, you shouldn't have to ask me for things. I should be able to know certain things about you. My intuitiveness, the part of me that makes me a woman, part of that is being intuitive and being in tune and being somewhat of a caretaker. And you want a good mother for your children. You want all these things. So maybe not conditions, expectations. Is that a little easier to swallow?
Yeah, I can deal with that better. Because when we say conditional love, it's like if you don't do those things, I won't love you no more. That's
Yeah.
not
Right.
true. If you don't
Right.
have this no more, I won't. That's like I'm saying I love my wife now, but if she falls to becoming with cancer and she can't do anything for me no more, I don't love her no more. Ain't true.
Right.
I'm gonna love her till she closes her
Right.
eyes. It's unconditional. I love her. I
Right.
love her. I love her so much that I literally put myself in front of a bullet to stop it to protect her. I feel like that about her and my kids. So that's why I kind of connect with that unconditional love being back for me. So I love the expectation thing. Yeah, we both have expectations.
Yeah. And I don't think it's anything unreasonable to have an
No.
expectation in a relationship or in a situation. I think kind of like what
Right.
Yardley spoke on earlier about, setting certain tones and precedents. And this is kind of going into our next topic, which I won't go in too far, but if you start something a certain way, then if I'm now men, you will have to say I'm wrong, but if I start our relationship a certain way, and okay, we together, I'm cooking, for you 2-3 times a week at least, I'm keeping myself up, I'm doing certain things, and then the moment we even make a commitment, let's not even say marriage, but the moment we make a commitment, things shift. People, that's not, I mean, what does that do to the mind? What does that do to the psyche? Are you willing to still commit to a person who's not the same person that they showed you? And that goes for women too. Like if the man is doing, don't buy me flowers. Don't buy me flowers once a week or once a month if you're not gonna keep this going. And I'm not saying flowers is something I have to have. I'm just using that for an example. Don't do something that once we're committed, you're gonna be like, nah, I ain't doing that no more. Excuse me?
But doesn't that happen a lot? Doesn't it happen a lot? We will set precedents, and then we change we set a pattern or precedent, and then we change it, and then we're like, well, why are you asking me to do that? And because you've always done it, so why are you not doing what you've
Right,
always done? And so
right,
everything has changed now. And so a friend or a lover or whoever it was, the person that I thought that I was getting to know, you're not the same person anymore, because
right,
the person I thought I knew, every day you got up and you make pancakes, and now you're saying,
right.
I don't want to make pancakes no more. Then you should have never woke up every day and made me pancakes. Don't reel me in by washing my clothes. And then now we married. Now you talking about you better take your own clothes and wash your own funky drawers. You've been washing my drawers all this time. Don't unwash them now. I mean, I wash my own clothes. My wife, I do all the grocery shopping, and I wash my own clothes. So I do that myself. I'm a man.
Okay. But I mean that, that changes the dynamic, that changes the situation. And I, like I said, I'm the type of person that I don't I don't require thing. And this, like I said, is again getting to kind of to the next topic, but I I expect to be treated a certain way. And I'm not going to say they're conditions, but there are certain things. There's a way that you're going to treat me because there's a way I'm going to treat you.
Right.
I'm not going to disrespect you. And you know what I mean? I'm going to treat you with all the love and all the whatever. I want to be treated a certain way because I'm going to treat you a certain way, and I'm going to respect you, and I'm going to give you what you need to the best of my ability. So I expect you to, in turn, give me the best that you have to the best of your ability. I think that can only be.
Yeah, and I just chime in to say I think that's where dating comes in. I think people get the dating part wrong. People go and be
Mm.
wives and husbands to people who aren't even yet their boyfriends and girlfriends. So I think dating is
Ooh,
the learning period. It's the incubator. You're supposed to be getting to know. You're not supposed to act like you know, because you might still be learning yourself. So learning
Right.
sure.
yourself means that you have proper expectations for what you want, and then you'll get what you want to receive, because what you don't want to receive, you will not allow, you know.
Right.
So I think that
Wow.
expectation, you have to, why would you not have expectation? You know, otherwise your home, how you roll and what you do will be running amok, and you would have no
Yeah.
control over the situation, and then there will be no order. And we must do things decently and in order. That's how it functions. That's how it flows. So I think the expectations are important, but they rely on the foundation of morals, values, standards, and then you can insert them how you need to with the people, because oftentimes people send a representative before you really get to experience the actual person.
Yeah,
that is true.
and that is so true. And I think you're right about the dating part, and you're right about how we will give people husband and wife privileges when you're not even dating them technically, yet, or courting. Courting and dating is two different things. We won't get into that, but I think too, what happens is this representative sheds over time, if that makes sense. Because there are levels, right? There are levels to getting to know somebody, and you can know somebody for 30 years and a situation happens, and you be like, I never would have thought that you would have responded like that. But like Queen said, truth is I may not know how I may respond in some situations. It's never put in that place. But this thing of knowing somebody and knowing yourself even is so gradual. We also have to be ready to accept the person that they evolve into and the person that they're figuring out, but also this representative, like I said, basically shedding over time. Because I might feel a little more comfortable with you, so I'm gonna let this guard down, or I might, I might let you see me like this, so I'm gonna let this guard down. But then, and the married people can speak on it better. But that is my thought process, because I have known people for years and be like, who are you? And not that they have changed. Let me not say that. Not that I have not seen a positive change. Not like that. Who are you? Who are you? Like, this situation just happened, and I would have never thought that you would have responded to that situation like that.
But you know what, Alicia? People over time, we grow and we evolve. I would say for myself, I'll make 41 on Saturday. Shout out to the Leos.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, bro!
Thursday for me, 35 Thursday.
Thank you. Same to you, Leos. So in my 20s, my response to a lot of things is totally different to the way I respond now. My wife has been with me literally since I was 16 years old. Okay, so and she can attest to a person that I am now to I was then. Younger, I was hot-headed, I was quick to jump off, all that other stuff. So it's different. And let me say something else about the expectation piece. Sometimes, and especially going into marriage, some people walk with unrealistic expectations of the other person.
Yeah,
it's unrealistic. And that's why we have so many people that walk into situations like, what's going on? Because you walk in with, you want this. I mean, it's all the stuff that you figuring is going to be, and what it is, it's not what it is. And I think that if, like Queen said earlier, if you're dating and you're really dating with a purpose, and you're really talking, if you're talking about getting to the next level, there are building blocks that's going to be like a foundational thing. We're going to talk about finances, faith, family. I call it my building blocks: family, finances, faith, fantasy. That means sex and all the things that go along with it. Because that's a big thing when you're going into the relationships too. I mean, are you into doing it sometime, or once a month? Are you 3 times a week? I mean,
like my daddy said, if you have a low self drive, if you have a low sex drive, you meant to be single.
You meant to be single, because I was told that this is one of the great benefits of getting married.
Blessings.
That's why I got married, so I didn't burn.
Hey, the Bible says better to marry than to burn.
That's why I got married. I don't want to burn.
Y'all so sanctified.
You're so sanctified.
I mean, those are things that he said are his foundational blocks, right? Those are the things that make up his foundation. So those are things that we have to be sure that we are sharing with people, like Queen said, in that dating and that getting to know stage. Because if you and your wife didn't match on those things, then we can't build because our foundations are separate. We building on two separate
can't stand.
Okay, so that can't happen like that. So I mean, we won't say conditions, but we will say expectations, and they are real. they should be met.
Definitely real.
Yes.
Should definitely.
And you know, you have to do in relationships. I think sometimes it's easy to jump into something because we want something. We want marriage, or we want children, or we want whatever we feel like this will be the expected end to. And that's when these conditions seem to come out, because no, I really didn't love you from the beginning. You know what I mean? I
Mm.
loved you because you could give me a child, or I loved you because you could change my name from Miss to Mrs.
You love the
Mm,
idea.
You know,
love
Many
the
people love
idea.
the idea of it all. Not they love them. They love the
and then you
idea
said
of
you love
having a
the
man,
idea.
the idea of getting married, the idea of this. Love is,
Okay.
let me tell you something. Love is sacrificial. Love is
Mm-hmm.
something that sometimes I tell married couples this all the time. Sometimes, especially for the men, you're going to get nothing at all out the deal. Just rest assured,
Okay.
just love it.
Talk about that a
You
little more.
sometimes, okay. This is what I'm saying about. Okay, there will be times where, and I'm quite sure y'all can kind of jump in on this with me as well. There's sometimes that the man will take
Don't be pulling that man in
the
with you.
back seat. The back seat. You're gonna take the back seat because he has kids, he has a wife. So you're gonna make sure that they have this, that, and all the third going on, and whatever's left over. Sometimes I find it for myself a lot of times that I neglect a lot of things that I could do for myself, like maybe buying a pair of jeans or anything as simple like that. Oh, I don't need that. As long as my girls are straight, my son is straight, my wife is
Mm-hmm.
straight, I'm good. So it's sometimes the man will do nothing out the deal in some cases. We just be ready for that. It's just what it is. That's how it is, period.
Okay.
But
Okay.
the satisfaction of it all is that you're with the person that you love, and sometimes you're going to get what you want. And those some beautiful times. Together.
Well,
Okay.
let me speak to that. Let me speak to that. Um, I get a joy out of going out and doing all kind of things and sitting back and watching my girls just enjoy it. I don't need
Mm-hmm.
anything. What I get out of it is when I get their favorite. We're a shoe family. I'm a shoe dad, so I got like 43 pair of Jordans, and all my girls they got Jordans and all this kind of stuff. That's just me. I buy me some. I get them some. That's me. My wife don't like tennis shoes. She wears slippers and sandals and all. That's her. So, but my joy comes from when I go out and they come home and there's a shoebox sitting on their bed and they just come downstairs, right to my home office and like, oh my gosh, Dad, you got me these, or I'll buy them a bear or something that's a little dinosaur, and they're teenagers, but that's so in terms of that, what I get out of the deal for me is seeing the satisfaction and the excitement on their faces from Dad doing something for me. And then there are times that you sacrifice, but at the same time, the mother can spend her whole lifetime sacrificing
Sacrificing.
through doing all the things that mom does. And I think that we sacrifice in different ways. And we give in different ways. And mom sacrifices her time, her energy, if she cooks or if she doesn't cook, or whatever it is, if she's a stay-at-home mom or she's a go to work mom and then come home and take care of the house mom. Mother sacrifice, father sacrifice. I think we all sacrifice, but the gratification and the glory of it is a satisfaction of those who you love, enjoying what you give and what you offer. My grandmother, she used to make her famous coconut cake, and we'd be sitting there eating it, and she'd stay in the kitchen with her hand on the wall with this big, huge smile on her face. She wouldn't eat one piece of that coconut cake, but the glorious moment was watching all of us, all her grandkids, sitting there and just going to town on that coconut cake. And she didn't care. And so on the outside, she didn't get anything. But on the inside, her heart was full of joy and her soul was
Sure.
just so filled and just overjoyed. And so I think that there's give and take. And if you really authentically look at it, you always get something from it. But it's a hard thing. Why are you sowing into this? Are you sowing
Mm-hmm.
into it to get a gift back? Or are you sowing into it because you love those who you're sowing to?
Yeah. Shanine, speak to this from a wife's perspective.
That's good. I was the ending. I was gonna actually bring that up. I was gonna say both. I think both parties sacrificed a lot. Like I know for me, like me and my husband, we talk about this a lot. Like when it was like just us before we had kids, it was like okay, now our time is divided. Because we have to take care of all these other stuff, our job, businesses, everything. And then we have to still make sure we have time for each other. And then when our daughter came into the picture, it's like, okay, now this is another divider of our time. Like we got to make sure we make time for each other and, you know, sacrifice some of that time. Like that time is split in half now because we have to make sure we're, you know, providing for her, taking care of her, giving her the attention that she needs, especially now at a young age. So sometimes I find myself like just being tired sometimes because I try to give her, you know, just everything that I would want. So I try to give her my time, even if I'm tired. It's okay, I'm going to play with you. Even though I just want her to sit down over there, just play by herself. But I'm just like, no, sometimes it takes, you know, sacrifice. And you do get that joy. You're just like, and you just stare at them. And you're just like, wow. So I think sacrifice in every relationship is key. And definitely, I think I seen a comment that someone said like expectations need to be communicated. And I think that is definitely crucial. Even before we got married, like we communicated our expectations. And then when we went to marriage counseling, like some of the stuff that I never even thought about, my pastor brought it up and I was just like, oh, wow. Like I never considered that. So I would definitely recommend, you know, counseling for anyone that's considering to get married, because some of the expectations you might think like, oh, he's automatically going to do that or she's automatically going to do that. But if you don't communicate it, then you're going to come into the marriage surprised and looking like, what's going on here? So it definitely needs to be communicated, you know, beforehand, just so that things don't catch us by surprise.
Yes, indeed. Any final thoughts on the conversation that has evolved from the quotes or anything surrounding it?
Yeah, I would say, you know, you have to start to learn and accept what you want or what your expectations are, and then provide solutions for them. And what I mean by that is I'm from New Orleans, born and raised, and so people automatically expect that I cook. I don't. And I don't like it. And I don't want to do it. And anybody that I ever did, they have loved cooking. It has been in them. They couldn't wait to do it. Now, me, I'm a presentation person. So I said that upon me, because I am a wife.
Okay.
Just don't have no husband, but I'm a wife. So with that being said, I already know that when we get to that portion of my, because I love to eat. I might be small, but I am fat, honey. I love a good meal. So with that being said, I said that I will go ahead and I will cook once a month, take us out once a month. I will always do the dishes and I will always plate the meals. That's what I feel like I bring to the table in that scenario. So no, I might not be out here watching because I don't like a popping of the crease. I don't like it. So I won't be there for that. I won't be doing it. But what I will do is make sure that everything is presented well. I'll make sure if you don't like your juices touching, they won't. I'll make sure that your tea is there on time. I'll make sure that you can have a cup of ice here and you can pour your drink how you want to so that the bubbles still stay fresh. I'll do that. I'll take care of the dishes, break down the plates, and clean everything up. But you go ahead and do it. Or when the kids grow up, they might love it. I don't. But I say that out front because it's a New Orleans girl expectation. Oh, you from New Orleans? You must know how to make gumbo.
Yeah.
Gumbo is special. That's for somebody special to do. So I don't want to know that. So yeah. So if you have something that you know is not the norm, then have a solution for that thing. Don't just come in there with your problem. Be ready to give a solution.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That's very good. And there are expectations that people get, like you said, just because of something as simple as where you're from or who you are. And you're like, wait a minute, you don't even know me, but just because you think that this goes with that, I'm supposed to provide. But that's not how it goes. But I'm like, Queen, listen, I might not do X, Y, and Z, but I do A, B, and C. You know what I'm saying? So there are things, like she said, I'm coming with the solution. I ain't gonna just leave you out there high and dry, with the things that I'm unwilling to provide, because there will also be things that he's unwilling to provide. But the only way for us to be able to make this thing work is both of us provide solutions for those things that we like, either I can't do or it's just not my thing. So that was very good, Af. Thank you for that. Any final thoughts before we go to our last little comment, our last little topic? Y'all ready to roll to the next topic? All right, we're gonna take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. Advertise your brand or business on Churchy Chats with the Church Girl. Commercial spots start at just $5. That's right, just $5. Your brand can be seen by 1,000+ people weekly. For more information, email churchychats@gmail.com. So I saw something the other day on social media that said it is not possible to be out of somebody's league. Now, this is not something that you hear. I don't know how the kids phrase it now, because you don't really hear people say, "Are you out of? I'm out of your league, or you're out of my league." I'm sure, I know there's a new term for it. I just don't know what I'm starting to feel old. I just don't know what the term is. But the concept, Yardley, you don't know either. Just like okay, but for our younger, if we have anybody younger watching who's never really heard that before, it's basically saying that person is too I hate to say it like this, but that person is too good for you, right, Janine? The person is too good for you. Do you all believe that this is a thing? Can you be out of somebody's league?
I'll dive in first. First of all, when someone says that, first thing that pops into my mind is, what is your definition of a league? What does that mean? The
Okay.
second thing is why does your league matter? why why does your league matter? The third thing that pops in my mind is, um, are we being surface, or are we really looking to compatibility? Because if we're being surface, then we can say, if we're being surface, then we can say that, just on surface period, we can say literally, and poke fun of me if you will, that Beyonce is out of Jay-Z's league, because if you put them side by side, no money, just pictures. Beyonce is
Okay.
here and Jay-Z is down here. So you would,
Okay.
so you could, so that's what people say. But
Yeah.
if you're really looking at it, how can someone really be out of someone's league? Because you really have to look at compatibility. Are we
Yeah.
compatible together? Not a league, but
Mm-hmm.
and if we're compatible, it's not like I told you before. When I got married, I brought a box and a bag. My wife had a job. I didn't even have a car. When my wife walked down the aisle, my dad was doing our wedding. My dad was staying there, and I leaned over to him. I said, "Dad, by the time she gets down here, I hope she doesn't change her mind, because I have $43, and we're going to Hawaii tomorrow. I have $43 to my name." And so if we look at that way, she's out of my league. But if
Right.
we looked at compatibility spiritually, emotionally, what we liked, I brought my daughter, and she brought and she brought her three children from a previous marriage. I had never been
Mm.
married before; she had been married before, but it didn't matter because we were compatible together. But when we look at,
Sure.
I think talking about leagues, that's really surface, because what makes your league so important, and what makes you so important, that says that we can't do this thing together. And so
Okay.
it's a tough one for me, because I think that's so surface and so shallow. That's just me.
Okay.
Who am I?
Okay. So what are we thinking?
I
Shawn,
would
you
say,
got up?
yeah, I think I would say definitely, definitely. I don't believe in the out of the league situation. We had this conversation about 2 weeks ago. Me and a few friends of ours,
Okay.
my wife included. Um, I just think it's another way how we put something to play to further divide each other. We're already divided by now classism, sexism, all those isms. So why add another component to divide us? I would have to agree with my
Mm.
brother Yardley. It's about compatibility if you're connecting with someone. Not necessarily that what if we in this league, out of the league. I mean, I could be making 40 grand, you could be making 90 grand, but I mean, you could find a man making 180 grand. It doesn't mean that he's going to be that person to be for you and to love you, respect you, honor you, be compatible with you, and the whole nine. So that out of the league thing, I think is just a waste of time. I think basically we've done that and divided ourselves up with it.
Okay. Ladies, what do you all say about this league situation?
When I first heard it, I was like, I don't think it's possible, because I feel when I hear it, it just sounds like, is it possible for someone to be like too good for you? Like they're just too amazing. Like you don't deserve them. And I just feel like it's when people say that, it's more so based off of money, status, all those seven. It's like, just because that person has more money than you are on a different level, tax bracket, whatever, that doesn't mean that they're better than you and you shouldn't be with them, or you can't be with them, because I guess you guys aren't on the same level in that terms, because they could have all that money, but treat you like crap and not treat you well. So then it's like, well, then would they be out of your league or would you be out of theirs? So I think it's for me, it's more so, I like what Yardley said, like compatibility and just like your values, the things that you guys agree on, what are important to you, what are important to the both of you. I think that is key, not really like status and all those extra stuff. Because if you guys can't come together, agree, don't have the same values, don't have the same standards, like you guys aren't aligned with the same similar purposes or the same purpose, then I just don't think it's going to work, period. So it doesn't really matter about everything else. So I just don't really like that term, though, when people use it when they say, "Oh, you out of someone's league."
Yeah.
I don't agree with it.
I mean, what are your thoughts?
I think, yeah, I'm on the other side of the fence.
I knew it.
I think,
I saw her
yeah,
face.
somebody can be out of your league, sir. I'm out of your league. You sitting there, you're talking to me crazy. You don't have good standards, morals, values. You don't even love the Lord. I'm out of your league. Try again. Go to the pitcher's mound. Bat again. Out of your league. I am. You know what I'm saying? So I think that there is an out of the league moment. And again, as you said, y'all, I think it does go to definition. Your perception is your reality. So however you see things is how you see it. However, if we open the book of Jay-Z, he said, I got the hottest chick in the game wearing my chain, okay? Which means that he understands that, hey, I'm not it, but everywhere else, if you throw in my work ethic, if you throw in my hustle, if you throw in my drive, if you throw in my fly, I got it. I might look like a
Joe Camel.
No such thing as ugly
fact. But, I know what I have to offer. I know who I am. I know who I can be to this woman. Even though, if we go to the book of Beyonce, she opened up the book to say, Becky had came in and messed everything up with that. She was going to leave it. But anyway, so somebody could be out of your league. And I think that it don't matter how far out your league somebody is, you could still get cheated on. You could still have something happen to you. I.e. Halle Berry, what's my favorite? August Alsina. Well, that's another chapter for another day. But I'm just saying, you can definitely be messed around. You could definitely be cheated on. You know what I'm saying? Even if someone is out of your league does not mean you cannot be conquered. It just means you're seen in a different light. So Jay-Z, he conquered that mountain. He said, you know what? Come on, be on my video shoot. Let me show you a few things of what I got. So you can look past all of this. You can look past the Mossy projects and look at my palace. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that, yes, people can be right on out of your league. Right on what you was raised on. They could be out of that. But that's not to say you can't be together. That's not to say something great won't happen. But you're going to have to present yourself as acceptable unto them. You can't just, it's like the gas station man. You know how they do. Hey, I said, if I'm in that gas, get out of here 100%. You know what I'm saying? Present yourself as you think. Wherever you think my league is, come on up to that. You know what I'm saying? I may need to come up to your league, or model, or pastor, or whoever you are. So come on up to my level if you think I'm out of your league, because I probably am. Think of yourself that way. Think of yourself as a king. Think of yourself as a queen, and let people come up to you. Out of your league does not mean out of your conquer level.
Okay, and that's a good point. And I have to agree, because I just feel like my definition of out of your league has nothing to do with how you look. It has nothing to do with how much money you make. It has everything to do with if you can match my drive, if you can match my determination, if you love God, if you bring better out of me. I need somebody that we bring something out of each other. I will encourage you till the day is long, and I will do everything that I can to uplift you. But I also need somebody who can challenge me, who can make me better, and together we grow. So I think to say league may not be the best term, but as everyone has said, it's about how you define that term, not so much it being about the physical, because I mean, we can go back to the Jay-Z, Beyonce example, but how many people do you see just on a regular? And you'd be like, how did they get together? Like, like, I didn't never think that he would look at her twice or vice versa. Maybe you get to know people and you like, wow. And you even begin to see that person differently because you see that they add value to their situation, right? And in turn, if they're a part of your life, they may add value to your life as well. So I don't think it may be saying a league may not be the right term, but it's all about how you define that thing. But this has been such a fun conversation for our first night. I didn't want to say men versus women because, you know, that sounds so combative, but we're just having a conversation, you know, about the things that, you know, men and women sometimes see differently. But tonight has been a wonderful kickoff to the He Said, She Said series that will continue through the month of August. And again, I want to thank my wonderful guest for being here with me tonight, for chatting it up. Is there anything you all want to say? Say where people can find you on social media. Anything you want to say to the people before we say goodnight? Y'all so humble. I don't know what's happening. I'm just Shanine, I think you froze on us, honey. Can y'all see it?
Yeah, she froze.
She's frozen.
Y'all check her out on Instagram. I think she may have been getting ready to say that. Y'all check her out on Instagram. She does have a book out. She's doing amazing things. Her and her husband. There you go.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, so you can connect with me on Instagram at Shanine Alessia. So it's spelled right.
Froze again.
See, I anticipated what she was going to say, which was check her out on Instagram at Shanine Alessia. We keep her a little bit. Anybody else want to speak to the people before we say goodnight?
Thank you guys thank you, Alicia, for having me on. This panel was absolutely fun and awesome. Thank you all you guys for indulging me. This was absolutely awesome. I know I'm probably the only from the other side of the country. I'm from the left coast. So thank you guys for having me on. And left coast is the west coast, is the best coast. And so what I'm grateful to be on. And I'm on Instagram at Yardley G. It's YARDLEYG. And that's me right there. And thank y'all for letting me be on. I had a great time. Thank you, Alicia. Alicia, tell your dad I said hi and I love him.
I will do that. Thank you for being on, bro. I will be calling everybody back to appear again. After you got something to say to the people?
Sure. This has been so great. And I think, Alicia, this is something we've been cooking for a long time. And I'm so happy to finally be on and able to share and collaborate with you. Thank you all for letting me be transparent and open. It's who I am. I know many of you from that full gospel realm. But yes, you can follow me at Queen Aftan. That's QUEEN. A as in Alpha, F as in Foxtrot, T as in Tango, A as in Alpha, N as in November on all social media platforms. We have so many things going on. And my org is everywhere. Crown Up Movement is how you can follow. And if you DM me, if you follow me, I usually follow back. I definitely DM back. So please communicate with me. I'm available to you.
Thanks, Ab. What you want to say to the people, bro?
Man, I was excited. It was great to talk to you all on tonight and meet everybody on tonight. Thank you, Pastor A, for the opportunity. You can follow me on Facebook at Shawn Henry, on Instagram at Preach Big Boy. That's PREACHBIGBOY. Follow me, drop some inboxes. I love to talk, and we can just kick it and chat. Hopefully, I'm back on here again, and we'll talk to you soon. Love you all. Be blessed.
Absolutely. So thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Churchy Chats with the Church Girl. First episode, He Said, She Said. Next week, we will be right back with some more amazing people. Make sure you tune in and join the conversation. Until next time, bye.